Okay, so here we go. I'm checking out the name here. This vessel is Daylight, which we're running out of right now. This couple was towed in here a couple days ago, and this is quite an impressive boat. What exactly is this boat?
This is a 1980 Mariner 47. This was designed by Ted Brewer. Hull number 1 of only 7. Actually, 6 were built. 7 is rumored, but we've never seen this.
Wow, so this is a rare girl.
Yeah, she's a rare girly.
Cool, man.
She's big chunky girl. Too.
Holy cow. And, you know, I just want to go ahead and mention that this episode is going to be a little different and a little longer because this boat has quite a story coming up. So,
yeah, a little bit of a story here.
Where were you guys headed, by the way?
I mean, we're going south to Florida / Bahamas, you know, and I think we were heading from, you know, we should have went down the Alligator River, but I wanted to sail. I didn't want to take the, motor down that way. So we went down Pamlico towards Ocracoke.
Okay.
And as we got into the Bigfoot Slough, as they call it there, right as we turned into the inlet, we went soft to ground. But it was enough with the wind and waves pushing us into the, into that shoaling that as we turned it around, head to wind, head to waves, we just couldn't make any headway off of it.
Okay,
and,
so you guys, basically, y'all started your journey up north then?
We did. We started in Forked River, New Jersey.
That's where you bought the boat?
Bought it in City Island, New York, and brought it down to Forked River to work on it for about a year before we moved on. And August 1st, I would say, was like kind of our official move-on date.
So end of the summer. This was y'all's. Y'all moved onto the boat.
Yeah.
Is this going to be your full-time cruising, residence? So y'all going to be liveaboards?
Yeah, we're liveaboards now. But yeah, we were coming down this way, heading down the ICW because we didn't really want to go out into Hatteras, or out around Hatteras rather. So we came to the inside and we got on the shoaling there and. That was Tuesday night, coldest night.
So you were on the way to
year.
Ocracoke?
We were going to stop in there, for the night. We were going to stop in there and sleep out anchor in Silver Lake, which is just beautiful. And we loved Ocracoke, but we got stuck enough, and after about 5 hours of beating against the wind and waves, ultimately the Coast Guard had come along, and they recommended that we evacuate. So in the middle of the night, and I mean literally it was like 11:30 at night.
Wait a second, hold on a second. So you guys were... Let's back up. You got the boat. Y'all started cruising. You said we're going south, and I guess you came down the coast. And did y'all come in the Chesapeake Bay, or did y'all go offshore from there?
I skipped Delaware and I skipped Chesapeake, so we just jumped and jumped. And
so you guys were on the outside of the eastern shore of Virginia,
that's
and
right,
just
came into Norfolk.
Okay,
and
so
started working
you came
our way.
around Cape Henry and Cape Charles down there.
Cape Charlestown, yeah. And, Cape May, we stopped by through Cape May,
was first,
okay.
okay.
Cape Charlestown, and went straight to Norfolk.
I gotcha. So you started the mile marker 0 right in Portsmouth, right at the start of the ICW. Came down. Did you do the Virginia Cut, or did you do the Great Dismal Swamp?
No, we did Virginia Cut because I think we're a little too deep for the Dismal Swamp.
Okay.
So we took, we went through Coin Jock and all that good stuff.
What does this boat draw, by the way?
We draw 6.5.
Okay.
Maybe slightly less because I took a lot of old junk off the boat that was heavy.
Kind of raised it up a little bit.
Yeah, so I think we're probably 6'4", 6'3", maybe if we're lucky. But
man.
But yeah, so technically we draw 6.5, but. That Tuesday night after getting beat up quite a bit, the Coast Guard finally said, hey, we think you guys should evacuate.
Did you have to call them Mayday, or did they just find you guys?
No, we had called in. She had called basically 911 at a certain point to say, hey, we need somebody to tow us off. And Coast Guard boat came out, but they weren't able to get in the wind and waves, get a rope to us to try to pull us off this shoaling. So, a couple hours go by, and they eventually said, hey, we're going to send a helicopter instead.
So y'all had the helicopter experience.
We did. We had, and it's just like you see in the movies. They
with 2 dogs.
With the
two big dogs. I saw when I came up here. I saw a big one.
Guy, yeah. They it's just like the movies. They drop a guy in the water, and he swims over to the boat, hops on, says, "Hi, I'm Nate." He's in in a great mood, and we're kind of in a panic, but after about maybe 30 minutes or so of trying to figure it out, we decide to get all of us and the dogs into the dinghy and let out about 100 foot of line because we've got extra line, float it out as far as we can. The helicopter can't come close because of the rigging. So we float out on the dinghy as far as we can, but we still had to get in the water. So she jumps in the water with one of the dogs and has to swim about 50 yards over to to a basket, tiny basket. I mean, it's the tiniest thing you ever saw.
Man, this is the end of fall right now.
Yeah.
It's November 17th. This was what, 3 or 4 days ago?
November 11th is when this happened. So
Okay,
it was
okay.
This past Tuesday.
All right.
That was the coldest day of the year so far. So I think it was like 30 degrees outside, and the water was about 50, 52 degree water.
Jumping into the water in the night, in the pitch black.
In the pitch
it was
black,
like the
no
darkest-
moon. Yeah, it was. It was.
I mean, was the
black as
helicopter,
black,
did they have like a spotlight
He
for
does
you
have
guys?
his light, yeah, at least, so we could kind of see. And I had our deck lights were on. I made sure to leave those on.
So this was a full-on rescue.
Oh,
This
yeah.
was a full rescue.
We landed, and then they had paramedics and police officers and everybody there to receive us, and had to get in the back of some police cars, escorted to a hotel.
In Ocracoke Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they took us to Blackbeard's lodge, which was absolutely fantastic. We were sopping wet. She had loaded our dry bag with our computers and phones and extra clothes and dog food, and it did not work. It was completely full of seawater. So we had,
No dry clothes. Our computers are toast.
Our computers are toast
Our
right now.
phones
One of my phones is toast. I have my
barely
old
made it.
broken one that works.
Man, dude, you guys have been on an ordeal on this boat, but seeing it at the dock, you wouldn't know that any of that happened. I mean, this is apparently a strong boat.
She is a tank, yeah, but we did lose the engine in the process. You know, we blew it the next day trying to get off the shoaling with the towboat. And I think the worst of it, and I have to bring it up, is when they towed us back here on Friday, the towboat guy ran us hard aground at 6 knots, right in the same place.
Right,
that
coming
we
out of
had-
Ocracoke.
Coming out of Ocracoke. He ran us right into the exact same spot.
Oh my
about
goodness.
6 knots, hard.
Yeah, that was like the hardest hit I think we
Yeah,
took. that
so we're
whole
gonna-
trip.
Are you guys shaking up at all? I mean, are y'all...
Yeah, we're.
Not me. I think I'm
I
oblivious.
can barely sleep at night. Like
Are you having PTSD type
yeah, a
stuff?
little
Or
bit, yeah.
She
I mean,
is. I think
he's
I'm too
fine,
stupid
but
to.
I'm definitely like.
I just
oh my
the
God,
boat's
and-
not taking on water. Nothing seems to be particularly damaged. I think our steering
Man, I
cable's a
still can't
little
believe y'all
loose,
are
but-
jumping into the water. Did y'all have to go one at a time?
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
Who went first?
She
I
went
did.
first. I wanted her to go first with our small
Solo,
girl.
into the water.
With
Well,
Berkeley.
the guy goes. The Coast Guard guy goes with you. So he.
Did he
swims
dive
into
out of the
back-
helicopter?
Yeah, they lowered him down and then
Like
he
a rescue
drops in,
swimmer.
just
Yeah.
like you see it. Yeah, he drops in about maybe 50 yards from the boat and swims over. But then yeah, he jumped in with her,
Yep,
swam her,
with
swam back
Berkeley,
to me.
Our mini Aussie, and so we got into the basket, and they hoist you up, and then scoot you in the basket. and
Were you
have
crying or any of that? I mean, were
I
you...
think I had too much adrenaline happening.
You were just in shock.
Yeah, I was totally in shock.
Holy
for sure.
cow! How was the ride? I mean, was it fun to go up in the air? I know it. You're like it's an emergency or everything, but I was like, yeah, that doesn't seem like it'd be so bad just going up. I mean, all
It's
right.
very jolty. Like it really, you a couple of times are like, man, am I gonna?
Is this wire gonna
Yeah.
snap and
Wow.
fall
Are
into
you
the
gonna
Holy
ocean?
right
cow.
Come up
into
on
the
this
ocean,
helicopter.
And then what? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a hell of an experience. We get into the basket too. I got to say this, or up into the helicopter, and I had a vape pen on me, and in the process, I just got in the helicopter, felt really hot, and I pulled my vape pen out, and it's smoking out of both ends. And I show the Coast Guard
goodness.
guy, and I'm like, I think we need to throw it out. So they open the door, and as soon as we throw it out, I kid
It
you not,
exploded
it
right in front of us.
exploded
Oh
as soon as
my
it hit the air.
goodness,
And I don't know
man.
if that's because the air hit it and kind of added to it, but it literally exploded, and we all looked at each other. The Coast Guard guys, they were like, "That was a good idea." You know,
Yeah,
throw
holy
it
cow,
out.
that happened.
They were like,
Man, y'all have already gone through so much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a hell of an experience in its own
Good
right.
Lord.
But
You went up the basket, and then you jumped in the water, and you went up the
I
basket.
had to go next.
But how long in between the basket, the initial, I mean, you went up, and how long did you have to wait to see him? Were you nervous?
I
mean,
was so nervous. Well, I thought he
Probably,
was
like-
gonna not abandon ship and stay because he kept saying like,
I'm
gonna
not
stay
gonna leave
with.
my boat.
I mean, you
Yeah.
just
Even
bought
leave
this
my
boat,
boat.
man. This is your, this is,
It's our
Yeah.
home, you
That's
know.
it.
And yeah,
So I was nervous to just see Zelig and the guy, the Coast Guard guy, come up and not him. And and it took a while. It was like I would say 15 to 20 minutes is what it felt like. It was probably not that long, but it was a gruesome. It was a gruesome time.
man,
It was really
this is what they call out there the graveyard of the Atlantic, man. The Outer Banks of North Carolina, and
Yeah.
Ocracoke has just got crazy history of shipwrecks out there. I can say I've done it myself. It's very hard to get in there. It's very hard to get out of there. Delivering
Yeah.
boats in there. somehow you always get in some kind of jam in there, and I'm sorry to hear that you guys had to deal with all that, right, at night. I mean, but y'all look good now.
Yeah, I would advise anybody going in and out of Bigfoot Slough at those first 2 or 3 green cans, maybe call Towboat US before you go through and ask them where the deep spot is. But we discovered that the deeper spot was actually outside the channel,
buoys.
and that was 10 or 11 feet deep. So Coast Guard hasn't moved those buoys in over a year, according to everybody on the island. And they know that it's only 5-6 feet deep through the entire channel.
And the locals were nice when y'all went to the island and everything?
Amazing.
Everyone was
Yeah,
so nice.
They took care of y'all?
Yep,
Yeah,
we made good
absolutely.
friends with one of the girls that works at Blackbeard's Lodge and her
Mona.
boyfriend,
Shout out
Mona
to
and
Mona.
Wes. They were absolutely fantastic, and we loved them. And wish we could have been there under different circumstances.
Yeah.
But
We had to
you
leave
know.
an anchor behind.
we lost our anchor.
Oh, you
and
cut
our
your anchor.
chain. Yeah, I think we bent the shaft to the windlass because it quit working almost immediately. Once I got on the boat and tried to bring it all back in, it stopped immediately. And
So
I
it's still
think
floating out
the our anchor and chain is out there with a fender tied to it, so I know where it's at. But there's 300 feet of chain and 55-pound Bruce just sitting on the sound floor right now.
Man.
So we're hoping to get somebody to help us retrieve it and bring it back, so we don't have to buy a new one.
Because
But
it is our best anchor.
it's our best anchor, best chain, and I got to work on the windlass, and the engine's blown. I mean, to top it all off, we blew the
Yep.
engine. So yeah, we're going through it, and you can see our Genoa's needs a little work. The sails,
Yeah.
the sail was out at the time too when we went around.
And now look at the water out here.
Yeah, it's
You
beautiful.
could
It's a beautiful day.
paddle a canoe to Ocracoke right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I could hip tow with the dinghy. I could hip tow us to Ocracoke if I wanted.
Good grief,
It would
man.
take 2 days, but we could get there.
Yeah, this place whips up, man. I mean, right out here they call it the Nasty Noose. The Noose River.
Yeah.
It'll be flat like this, and then all of a sudden you get a nasty wind come through, and the whole place is like a hurricane coming through
Yeah.
here. It's like, wow, it was super exposed and all that, but well,
This
man,
is a beautiful place, and I think we're in Oriental, North Carolina here now, guys, and this is, if there's any place to be marooned, it's the sailing capital of the South. I mean, this is a fantastic place to be, and we're enjoying the company of everybody around, and
Yeah.
we're trying to make the best of it as much as we can, and
yeah, it was like interesting meeting you guys because we had like all the cruisers just coming, starting for the season. The first wave came through right after the 1st of November when insurance restrictions
Yeah.
lift and everybody can head south.
Yeah.
You guys came like the second week of the big hurrah, and we had the bonfire up at the fire pit and everything, and then
Yeah.
everybody in town is talking about y'all's story, and I said, man, I've got to get down here, do an interview on this boat and see what's going on.
yeah. Well, we're
Man.
we're on all the socials as well at Sailing Daylight. So you can find us on all the socials except for like Twitter or X or whatever.
Yeah, it's just Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
And YouTube and Facebook. Yeah.
Man,
and
I'm sure
Facebook,
people
I
want to
guess.
hear the story, get in touch with y'all.
We haven't talked about it at all
At all,
ourselves
yeah.
because we've just been so shaken up. So you're gonna be the first.
Hey,
Send us Powerball tickets. That's
Yeah.
what we need.
oh my God. Well, man, you're right. I mean, that's the thing. When you're out in Ocracoke, there's not a whole lot of services. I mean, did they offer, hey, where can we take you guys, or was it an
Yeah,
option? Or
Yeah, there was the one towboat guy wanted us to go up to Wanchese, but as we understand, it's an island, another small island, and it's a powerboat community, and we knew
It
that
just
we
sounded
wanted.
like it wasn't gonna be a good fit.
And it was much farther away than Oriental site.
Yeah.
We kind of fought to get over here.
did you know what to expect when you came to Oriental? Did you guys know anything
No,
about
but
it?
we did hear from people that this would be the better place, and there were a lot of people said, like, if you're going to go anywhere, Oriental is a good sailing community, so this would be, this is the direction to go in. And so far we're seeing it. This marina kind of feels, most of the boats here kind of feel like in the same state of repair or refit as ours, so we don't feel like we're surrounded by billionaires like we did in where were we, Newport?
Yeah.
When we were in Rhode Island, we were
yeah.
surrounded by billionaires, but everybody here is kind of like
No,
normal.
that's why I kind of wanted to catch you guys for this interview, because like that's basically my thing is I'm trying to show that people can enjoy this lifestyle without, having $1 million in their bank account or whatever.
Yeah.
And like you guys are a testament to that, and having what we call a good old boat. Like this thing went through that storm. You guys got rescued by the Coast Guard, like
Yeah,
the
I
whole
really thought
deal.
That was going to be it. When we left the boat, I said, "That's it. We'll never see her again." And we got out there, and she was just bobbing along. She'd wallow.
The next day,
she wallowed out a hole in the shoal where she was at, so she could turn left and right. She just couldn't go forward and backwards. So she just got to wallowed out a hole and was bobbing along, waiting for us.
And did y'all see the ferry coming in and out? I mean,
Ferry
they-
came through quite a few times, yeah. And they almost rub the greens on their way through here. And I think they were coming out as we were going in, so I had kind of wanted to be out of the way, not realizing that kind of dog-legged in right there, which is what put us on the shoal in the first place. And hindsight's 2020, right? So if we'd known what we knew then, or vice versa, that this would have been a completely different scenario, of course. But
well, man, what a learning experience, and this is just,
Sure is.
just hearing it. I mean, people, like I say, everybody in town wants to know what's going on with you guys and make sure y'all are all safe. And I hope you're feeling better. You said you haven't been sleeping well.
No, I've not.
I think you'll be able to sleep tonight pretty well. Pretty calm in here. You've got everybody pulling in.
Take some anxiety medicine and hit it.
And honestly, you're like, a lot of people are rushing to go south. The second, third, fourth wave still hasn't come. A lot of people just still hang around till after Thanksgiving, after Christmas, they do family stuff. They don't even start coming down till New Year. So like you guys are still like, ahead of the pack, so to
speak. It seems to be a pretty temperate area too. We need to do some more research, but it seems like, even if we stayed in the water all year long here, we'd probably be okay.
That's it. Like I say, a lot of people are escaping Maine and Massachusetts, all that stuff. It's getting super cold up there, even like northern Chesapeake, even, as far, right at the Carolina line. People are jolting down here to get away from that weather. But, it's pretty cool here.
I think we're right. We're just past Hatteras, and I think it's kind of, you've got the Gulf Stream as it comes up there, and it brings some warm air, I'm sure, with it, with the warmer waters. And so we're just hoping, we don't want to be here for too long because obviously we want to go south and get to the Bahamas. But, if I'm here for a little while.
Man.
Well, we can get to the Bahamas. We just can't go everywhere.
But look. You look cool. No, who would know? I mean, look, you mind if I do a little from the forward here? Please. I mean, you guys have a massive bowsprit up here, and it looks like, is that for a Hank-on sail here?
I think that this may be for the spinnaker or something like that, but I think really it was just meant to be a forestay. There used to be obviously a cutter.
I see. Yeah. Okay. It's like backwards. You usually see like the furling, and then like your inner forestay would be like inside, but it looks like it's a little backwards there.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, they built her. I guess they didn't really want the Genoa, the furler, to be the forestay. So whoever designed this, kind of added.
Yeah.
Made sure it had its own dedicated forestay, which we really love that.
And then you've got a hatch on deck here, and then like, look at all this deck space. This is like almost like a charter boat size deal.
Yeah, she's a big girl.
And it's not a center cockpit, but you've got like center cockpit features up here, and like, is this
same thing down inside there too? I mean, you've got a very large head down in there
that came up on deck.
I see you've got the granny rails here.
Yep.
A couple fresh air door aids right here.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah. And the boat was neglected pretty badly by the previous owner. He bought it and had it for 12 years just floating around in City Island. He did do a great job taking care of the bottom. And I don't think he sailed very often, so the rigging is in absolutely really excellent condition.
Yeah, it looks brand new.
Yeah, that's what I said too, but it's not brand new, but it just has not been used. And it wasn't even tight when I bought the boat. So it hasn't really had tension on it either during those 12 years. So, I've really just tensioned it in the last few months for us to sail. But
yeah, but man, it looks great.
It's
the canvas. How about this canvas? Did that come with the boat?
This I had done. We'll replace the obviously the sunbrella on the Genoa's got to get replaced to match. And that's tore up. But
I failed to ask you guys, did you have to do a lot to get this boat ready to go? I mean, was there a lot of things you had to do to outfit it? Or was
Interior-wise, yeah. I mean, it was a complete, as far as plumbing, complete gut and redo of the plumbing, which I did. The electrical has been about half of... Yeah, we lived in Indianapolis, and I was driving 13 hours there and 13 hours back
to work on the boat.
Yeah, to work on the boat.
So you guys aren't from New Jersey. Y'all were working on the boat, but coming. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that's I spent about a year driving back and forth every weekend, spending 3, 4, 5 days on the boat, or a couple weeks sometimes, just trying to get it ready. The inside's been completely sanded down and painted because just the smell. I mean, the bilge was full all the way to the sole with water when I got it. So it's been an enormous amount of work. And
man, this is a labor of love, like the definition of.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're still going.
I see you've got like a set of boom gallows here. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you got the Bimini as well, which is all pulled back right now because the Dodger, the canvas of the Dodger is going to get replaced, and so I tossed out the old Dodger, and so I'm just open air out here. Taking it to the face, basically, whatever out here sailing.
Man.
The wind and the waves just come over. And
good thing y'all got a calm night tonight. Look at this. We got this little area here. It's got some storage down there, and I guess you could just hang out there. And you're working with solar.
Yeah, 1,100 watts of solar, 900 amp hours of LifePo 4 batteries in there. I have everything separated, so I've got two 20 MCA lead acid batteries that run the DC power. I've got a battery for just the engine, a battery for just the generator, which we don't use, and then I've got 900 amp hours of power for our AC stuff. Hey, so all the AC power all comes from the LifePo 4s, and it's all completely separate systems. Same thing with our water too. I have a separate tank for everything that we drink or any water that goes in our mouth, and then a separate set of tanks for washing.
Man, you've got this thing
showers.
cruise ready.
Yeah.
And the dinghy looks brand new.
The dinghy is brand new. The engine as well. The guy who owned it had that engine sitting around and had maybe 6 hours on it, and so it's an older engine, but it had never been used, and so I bought.
Wow, 20 horse?
20 horsepower.
Holy
so
cow!
That's why the dinghy never comes out of the water. It's too damn heavy.
Was that towing behind you when y'all got into the wreck?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we tow it all the time. It doesn't come out of the water ever, but it needs to. The bottom is dirty. But yeah, electric winches that work most of the time. Just little, it's an old boat. Yeah, all updated navigation. I've got $2,000 just in the depth sounder and the anemometer, and another $1,500 in the chart plotter. So we've tried to put money in where money needs to be put in.
Yeah, but the rig looks solid. You got like the split backstay back here.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, it's a blue water cruiser. I mean, this is a blue water boat with everything that you would need to go, I mean, really offshore. The hull is this, I kid you not, it's this thick. And I know that because I went through 3 hole saws trying to put in a filler neck for the water tank up front. And that's just the deck. The deck was this thick. No core, no nothing.
Wow, solid fiberglass.
It's solid glass. Yeah, this, like I said, hull number 1 from 1980. I believe they started building it in 79. So, yeah, it's solid glass. Solid as a rock. There's no soft spots anywhere.
Wow.
This was once teak, but somebody took it off, and they were real stupid about it. They didn't prime it. They just painted directly over it. So I've had to strip this down and epoxy in to stop the leaks.
It looks good, man. It looks like non-skid.
We'll get there. Yeah, I've got all that. We're just, bit by bit, we'll work on it.
Cool. And below decks is pretty comfortable for you guys?
Yeah, we love it in there. I mean, obviously, like any boat, you've got space issues here and there. We have a ton of absolute ton of storage.
And comfortable with the 2 dogs and everything?
It is, and we had 2 heads, but one of them we didn't need, so I converted it to a walk-in closet for her. So, she's got tons of space for all of her clothes and shoes, and
you got a lot of shoes?
Yeah.
And I just wear the same 3 outfits every day, so I don't care.
See, that's how I do, man. And my wife, she's got, but you got to make the women, get them what they need on the boat as well. Y'all got to have your thing going on. That's cool.
Yep, good sized galley. And we took out the propane. The gimbal stove, I didn't want propane in the boat, but now that I have so much power, I can use an induction cooktop, and I actually put in kind of almost like a full-size fridge. You can kind of see, we have the ceiling is currently ripped out, so the lights are out with it. But you can see I've got like a full-size fridge in there.
Wow, cool, man.
Updated the galley.
Did you replace that sink?
Yes, absolutely.
That thing is awesome. That's like something you see like an industrial kitchen, like in a restaurant.
Yeah, it's a deep sink. I think it's a 13-inch deep sink, 2-side sink there, with a pull-out faucet and all that good stuff. But I think our bigger concerns was just making sure we could have enough food on the boat. Just have enough water. I mean, everything you'd want: the food, the water, the electricity. We have a washing machine in here, no dryer, but we have a washer.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're able
Man,
to
this thing's ready to go, isn't it? As soon as you get the engine fixed, I'll say, so you can get out of the harbor here and everything.
Yeah,
but
yeah, absolutely.
don't worry, you'll be back in no time. You'll be back on the water. This was just a little hiccup. Hey, we all go through it. Everybody's got something going on the boat. I mean,
Yep. Everybody's blown an engine. Everybody's blown out a sail. Everybody's grounded their boat. Everybody's run out of water when you didn't want to, and you run out of food when you don't want. It just happens. It just is what it is. And,
oh my goodness.
We're damnedest to never let that happen again.
Pardon?
We're going to do our damnedest to never let that happen again.
Yeah, no. Y'all got the new lesson and all that stuff, and y'all will be out of here cruising in no time. But I wasn't going to take too much more of y'all's time. It's getting dark. I know it's time for dinner and everything. Thank you for the deck tour. Thank you for the story. And like I said, I hope you get some rest tonight, and I hope that y'all can just chill out and enjoy you know, the happiness, and that's what they say. A lot of boaters, they say, you can come here to center yourself and just chill out, you know, get out of the rough stuff. Honestly, man, you get a lot of people that stop right here and say, you know, I just went through hell crossing the Albemarle Sound or going through the, you know, the Pamlico Sound, or just came into Beaufort Inlet or somewhere, and it's just, I don't know, it's just crazy out there. So this is definitely a
it's like a safe haven.
Yes.
It does seem to kind of be like the place where all of us misfits kind of wash up into this area here.
That's a good way to put it.
You know, and swap stories. And it's funny how many people have had very similar stories to us in this specific area. So, you know, it helps you feel not so bad about what you're going through, and gives you hope that, you know, hey, if these guys can make it, you know, with their advice and their wisdom, we can make it as well.
Man, very cool. Thank you for those words. Thank you for the interview, and we hope you guys have a good stay here.
Thanks, Jonathan.
All right.
Appreciate you,
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Jay and Kay, Sailing Daylight.
Very cool. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Good night.